This is Sufi Guidance Podcast.
औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मेरी तरफ से आप सब लोगों को अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं हूं मोहम्मद शहजाद एंड वी आर लाइव ऑन सूफ़ी गाइडेंस पॉडकास्ट फ्रॉम सूफ़ी गाइडेंस स्टूडियोज़ मैनचेस्टर। लास्ट वीक बात हो रही थी दज्जाल पे, हार्ट पे, क्रिएटिव माइंडसेट, न्यूरल लिंक और इसके अलावा सर्न पे भी बात हुई। उसी प्रोग्राम को आगे लेके चलेंगे। इधर असद अफजल मेरे साथ हैं, साथ ही रज़ा अली शाह आबिदी शाह साहब, दोनों को मैं अस्सलाम वालेकुम कहूँगा।
हेलो, अस्सलाम
वालेकुम
टू एवरीबॉडी।
जी असद भाई, बात हो रही थी, थोड़ा सा अगर आप रीकैप उसको दे दें कि जो बात हुई थी, तो उसको फिर उससे आगे चला लेंगे हम।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम शहजाद भाई।
वालेकुम
अस्सलाम to everybody who's listening and will be listening. In the two previous programs, the podcasts that we've done, we spoke in relation to the technological advances and the advancement of humanity as we are in 2020 now. And we spoke in relation to what the future holds in relation to these advances and in which direction the human advances are going. In relation to these, we brought up the ancient prophecies, which we all know in relation to Dajjal and the coming of the end of times. We mentioned that science has taken us to such advancement that they are looking into weather manipulation, curing of the human conditions, revealing and seeking universal secrets through like CERN, for example. Anybody who has been tuning in should go and do some research and look into places like CERN, based near the borders of Switzerland and France, I believe, and have a look at companies like HARP, and they will understand that this is what the research is being done on, how far the research and development has taken the scientists who are leading these investigations. We further looked into, we've spoken about a vast array of subjects. We've looked into something called Neuralink, which is a company by Elon Musk, and the advancement over there is they make a chip which they can put into your skull or even at the base of your spine, and the purposes of doing something like that and the benefits of doing something like that for a human. And vision was explained like, it can cure many diseases. It will help the blind see, or the deaf to hear, or the people who are disabled and can't walk to walk, because it'll be a component that's put into stimulate the signals throughout your body, where if there's any deficiencies, it can help cure that process. The main things to take from that is, or what we actually conclude and take from that, is that we're going in a direction where in the future it will be possible to cure a human. It'll be possible to manipulate the weather.
Yeah.
And also the curiosity is that if you have something named the God particle, whether it was named simply to publicize it and make it really famous, but to reveal some universal happenings that otherwise will never be revealed. Nobody else is doing it in the whole entire world, especially to set up a facility which maybe cost billions, I don't know, but that is a very big effort into finding out these secrets of the universe. I mean, CERN itself is like what, a 17 mile, I don't know exactly now, but it's so many miles long as a tunnel which is built 300 meters, I think, underground, which is a very big facility to collide particles and then see what the outcome of that is. it's the frontier of discovery. We further spoke about AI, which is artificial intelligence. We looked at things in respect to Henson robotics and the humanoid. The purpose of doing this is that having a look at exactly where we are in the timeline of since the creation began to the current day affairs as we are alive, as human beings, as children, we grow up and go through many educational systems in which you find either at school, in a religious worship place, or even in your home environment. And it builds on your character, and there's some that are overwhelmingly believed over others.
Yeah.
Your belief system is sort of cultured, and you begin to know certain things as factual. Like in the previous podcast, we gave examples of the happenings that are mentioned in the Quran and how we take them as a guaranteed thing that's actually happened. We don't differ in belief. We don't doubt anything that happened. And the purpose of mentioning them was they are far-fetched from, if we believe, after this podcast or after reading the Holy Quran, if afterwards we think about normal reality, then these are the things that we would actually dismiss straight away. Like the things that I brought up last time were, in a narration in the Quran Park, there is one of the prophets who asked the people, ask of whatever you want to see as a miracle, and I will ask God to make it happen. And the people, some said, we want to see a camel.
Yeah.
And they gave the, height and whatever, a mile big or 3 miles long.
Yeah.
Not quote for quote, but that's what they said. Someone else said we want it to come out of a mountain. Another said it should be pregnant. Another turned around and said, well, it should
be
drink
red color and these
and
all the specification.
They all came up with something amongst them which they wanted to see, and then the order was given by God to happen.
Yeah.
And the exact thing
happened.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But going away from here now, 2 days from now, this won't be something that is we focus on. Right now we may agree that's 100% truth, and later on we will always go away believing it is the truth, and we know it as the truth. There's no doubt in it. But for a minute, if you apply that to today and said, is there someone, or can this even be possible, or you discuss it amongst the scholars of today or mainstream scientists, and they will dismantle the argument. Is it possible? Can it happen? And all that. So coming to the conclusion of there's a balance between reality and the control of God. And from that point, since the beginning of these podcasts, we brought a prophecy forward which was prophesied by 1400 years ago, around about that time, that there will come an end of times, and in that end of times there will be someone called Dajjal. He will control the weather, he will control life and death, and he can cure you. And as a means to making some sort of sense of that, today we can see things like AI, artificial intelligence, being spoken about in terms of a godlike creation that will control the weather. Or possibilities are, if CERN can or a HARP can control the weather, and if they put it in control of something like artificial intelligence, then automatically it can control the weather. And artificial intelligence is being spoken about the highest creations, advancements of a human, that after this creation, this will be possibly the biggest creation, more than the discovery of fire. It's being spoken about on that level. It's actually being called things like a godlike creation.
Yeah.
And the reasons for this is because of its advancements. And what they've actually done is created an intelligence which is mimicking a human brain. And then they're trying to surpass it. So they've mirrored us as human beings who are capable of thinking on the small levels we think on individually, and create a brain power to independently think, which will supersede human intelligence, for example. And what the speculation we were making was, tomorrow, when they do create something like this and it goes live, there's going to be so much belief about it that it is going to be God. Because it's going to have a singularity associated to it, that it's an individual thinking machine. And with it being an individual thinking machine, but yet being a machine, the conclusions out of all the conclusions we were coming out with were that it will only be able to see people through one eye, not necessarily a human touch.
It will basically judge everyone with oneness.
With oneness.
With oneness. Singularity.
Singularity.
Yes.
And so then we recognize the Dajjal.
Yes.
And that is the Dajjal as far as we recognized it. Exactly that.
But here I've got a question. मैं और शाजी बात कर रहे थे ऑफलाइन दज्जाल के बारे में, and शाजी said that Dajjal will be pure evil, plus शाह साहब ने ये भी कहा था कि वो रूहानी साइड पे भी उसका वो होगा. अब अगर ह्यूमनाइड को हम फॉर एग्जांपल अभी बात कर रहे हैं, अगर ले लेते हैं, ह्यूमनाइड बेसिकली मशीन है, एक फ़िज़िकल बॉडी है और एक प्योर फिज़िकल दुनिया की चीज़ है. उसको अगर कंपेयर करें तो उसमें रूहानियत या इवलनेस या उस साइड को कैसे आप एडअप करेंगे उसमें?
The thing here is कि इसके अंदर सबसे बड़ा जो यानी कि जहाँ तक my knowledge goes कि when we say कि humanoid, we straight away believe that it's a non-human but it's human. Humanoid यही होता है ना,
based in one body.
Based in one body, one thing. Soul होगा नहीं उसका. Soul उसका होगा जो उसको सिखाया जाएगा, है ना? Soul will be whatever is taught to him. Now the other thing is when we talk robotics and all of that, why do we believe that it's going to be a metal based robot? Don't you think in the next 100 years they will have like skin grafting? अभी से कर रहे हैं, हमारे टांग की खाल जो है उठा के दिल में लगा लेते हैं.
Absolutely. They're thinking of one of the cures they said that it might provide is it'll give you youth, long lasting life, or eternal life.
That's what I'm saying. They will basically start creating humans. From humans.
Which they're saying how it's going to do that is going to inject nano robotics into your body, which will make you like it.
Yes.
And then it will also, them robotics, the purpose of them will be it'll keep on rejuvenating your body.
तो वही तो चीज़ है ना कि it is gonna look like human. जहाँ तक मेरा ख्याल है, it will have all the qualities what a human being has.
Yeah.
But the only thing it won't have, a soul. And that's what they are. जो ये सारी चीज़ें जो last time हम recapping on the old subject as well, the old program, कि जो तमाम research हो रही है on every human being, because every human being has a separate soul. हर आदमी अपने सोचने का नज़रिया अलग है. असद के सोचने का नज़रिया अलग है. His basically his beliefs and all of these things, these are separate. Shahzad Saab is अलग and mine are separate. My father's was separate. Your father's is separate. His uncle is separate. Everyone thinks his own way. Individual singularity. And that when all of these qualities they will attain, somehow they will know कि okay, they're like a billion human beings, billion thoughts, billion ही उसकी आदात, अतवार and everything. Some people like scratch their face with all four fingers. Some people use only one finger. Some people ask another people to scratch their face.
Yes.
It depends. It depends on the human being. And this is what they want to know, because the thing is that to make a miracle person, a guy who can do miracles and a guy who has controlling weather and everything, he should have all these qualities, and that will become spiritual on its own. यानी कि वो spiritual होगा ना, फिर वो power सारी, he will have all the qualities of the human ना. कोई ये तो नहीं कि एक quality होगी, he will have all the qualities. And when you have all the qualities, so that means you will exactly know when Asad walks in, all right, this guy is this. When he starts speaking, with the voice, with his tone, we know कि is he angry, is he happy, is he tired. He will have all this power of judgment, and this is what they are doing. The research at the moment is just, what do you call it? Data collection. Data collection. At the moment, what is happening is data collection. Now you can say that this advancement of phones, tablets, internet, they are watching everything, they know. Even though they know everything, they are watching. But the main thing here is that we know, they are watching and everything. But as humans, we are adaptable as well.
Yes.
We have a quality of adopting things. If Asad is born here and he's lived in a temperature of around about 10 degrees in a whole year, I'm just giving an average temperature of Manchester, 10 degrees across the year. And if we throw him in Sibbi or maybe the Sahara Desert for the next 1 year, do you think you'll die?
Yeah, probably second day.
No, you won't die like that. You won't just, but you will adopt.
Well,
your body will adopt.
Yeah.
These are the things that he has to learn. Every person has a different way of adopting things. Asad might adopt the difficult way. I might adopt the very difficult way. Shahzad Saab in the heat will say, I'm used to this. Even though he's not used to it, he will adopt straight away. These are the things that the data collection is at the moment. You're basically, if somebody says that to know about you, it's not what you eat, what you wear, how you walk. No, it's about how you adopt, the adaptability. These are the things that basically the data collection is about, and these are the things that make one belief as well. Some people's belief are, उधर जो है क्या कहते हैं उसे, चांद जो है किसी ने पाव का टुकड़ा उड़ा दिया, right? माशाल्लाह.
बिल्कुल.
And some of the people will go, somebody has cut the moon in quarter or maybe half. I can't believe it. That was only the Prophet who could do it. Belief rattles. Yeah. Everyone's belief has a point where it draws a line and it rattles. That's human nature. Because until you don't see it, how will you believe it?
Yeah. It's extraordinary.
The thing is that now how this works is the belief, this bit. If you look at, for example, the beliefs that have processions, like the Shia belief. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. Their belief, if somebody says, the alam has got blood, the other person who hasn't even seen it, who is miles away from that, will like, mashallah, that's a mu'jiza.
Accept it, yeah.
Accept it straight away. ठीक है ना? And the ones that don't believe in that, what will they say?
Scientifically prove it as
it's a lie.
It's unbelievable.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Impossible.
ये चीज़ है. जो क्या कहते हैं उसे, जो रब्बीउल अव्वल वाले जो यानी कि एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, ये सब एग्जांपल्स हैं because we don't basically tend to talk about these things. रब्बीउल अव्वल वाले जो हैं उनके beliefs अलग होते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
Shia beliefs are separate, and there's another one who don't believe in any of this. Their beliefs are separate.
Yes.
But they are known to be the knowledgeable ones. They do research. They're the scientific ones.
They're the scientific.
They are the scientific ones. Everyone knows that. But the thing is that why this collection and everything is basically all control. See, the world is based on control. Now, every household, there is one person who controls it. Every household, because human nature is such, they want to take over the other human nature. I will want कि शहजाद does गुलामी. ठीक है ना? You will want कि क्या कहते हैं, I do गुलामी. You know what I mean? Shahzad would want कि both of us do गुलामी. It's a thought process. Everyone, ये human nature है. If we have 6 yards of land, यार 6.5 हो जाए किसी तरीके से. You know what I mean?
बिल्कुल.
It's not greed. It's our nature. It's built in our nature. These are the things that he will have, all these qualities. And when he has all these qualities, when he understands all of this, और वो सब चीज़ें देखेगा, सुनेगा, समझेगा, तो फिर कुव्वत भी होगी. To make him spiritual, he will, क्या कहते हैं, when he says rain, and it will start raining. Oh, wow,
Yes.
you're the God. You know, they will be believers of that. Some will say that is touching nature, that is shirk. They will stand against him. है ना? But on the other hand, जो वो against होंगे, उनकी जब क्या कहते हैं, माँ बाप घर के अंदर बीमार पड़े होंगे, ठीक है ना, जो चल नहीं सकते, जब वो उनको बोलेगा स्टैंड, एंड द फालिज का मरीज जो 20 साल से पड़ा हुआ है वो खड़ा हो जाएगा. या ये कि क्या कहते हैं उसको, व्हाट डू कॉल इट, जिसको स्ट्रोक हुई भी है 5 साल से, जो हिल नहीं सकता, बोलेगा उठ जा, और जब वो उठ जाएगा, देन
The miracle is there.
the miracle is there. ठीक है ना? And then what will that family do?
वो उसको मसाया, उसको
Messiah?
God.
For him they will be the Messiah.
The Messiah.
Yeah. He will have all the spiritual qualities that basically a spiritual person has.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's the ultimate challenge.
Yes.
It's the ultimate challenge to
That
God.
will be the ultimate challenge of a human faith.
Yeah.
Of the faith. कि how do you believe in him? देखें यही चीज़ है. Now if we put it down as an example, we go with a common flu to the doctor. Just a common basic flu. ठीक है ना? And the common basic flu can kill you as well. There are examples of it. Pneumonia से मर जाता है आदमी. अब तो खैर COVID-19 का टाइम है, but एक example दे रहा हूँ. When we go to the doctor and we ask him, he gives us antibiotics, do we turn back and kneel before him or touch his feet?
No.
No. Why?
It's got a place in society. We know it's just a cure.
It's just a cure. Now the other thing is, people who tend to get dum done for colds or bukhar, what do? They
get impressed.
They get impressed.
Yeah.
They get impressed. Oh, he's got powers. Why has the doctor got powers? Even he's got a power.
His is more based on scientific research and human. But what the dumb is just more of a mystical knowledge. It's unseen in a term, and it's not mainstream. So there's the element of
This
belief.
element of belief kicks in it.
It kicks in
Now,
as well.
where does the Dajjal fit in these two terms? I will leave it to you both. I've done my bit for this time, for this minute.
दज्जाल जो है वो दोनों कैटेगरीज में फॉल करता है, क्योंकि वो सब कुछ वो भी कर रहा होगा जो साइंटिफिक तौर तरीके से पॉसिबल है, बट जैसे वेदर को कंट्रोल करना या इस तरह की चीज़ें जो अनसीन है वो उसको भी कर रहा होगा. तो बेसिकली इट्स मोर काइंड ऑफ
मैं बता दूं, he will have power of energies.
Yeah.
He will have control over energies.
Yeah.
वरना ये कि फालिज के आदमी को कैसे दोबारा खड़ा करेगा?
बिल्कुल.
Well,
Energy. Energy. There is a research that they put current in your body and which make your nerves alive.
You see, this is the calamity of it all. The human advances that have taken place over the last few centuries, they will, instead of having a natural course of discovery and letting everybody know about these scientific advances, they will all be amalgamated into one and then revealed under one AI rather than individually. So if there are energies, for example, that can open your nerves and cure your ailments, let's say agar falaj pad gaya to falaj ka cure wo ban jata hai. So that should have been something that has been revealed to the world in its capacity to cure, which we've discovered as a human race. But rather than that, it's going to be put under the banner and control of AI and then revealed under AI, for example. So AI is now the direct owner of such a power that it can cure your ailments, such as agar falaj pad gaya to AI will now come along, this, let's say, humanoid, and be able to cure somebody who's near to death, and it's going to be bringing him back to life. So it's not a natural course of discovery for us. It's going to be one time known to us. All of a sudden, it's going to happen so fast that it's going to be all under the banner of AI.
Yeah.
So AI is now going to tell us that, okay, father to be cure mil gaya. Person who can't walk, उसका भी क्योर मिल गया. हालांकि वो क्योर चाहे 50 साल पहले भी निकल आया था, पर लेकिन किसी को कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ. Why did they do it right at the end under the banner of one thing, adding so much power to that one thing?
And the other thing is कि somebody on the chat is saying कि Christ will come at the same time. ये वो. मैं एक बात बता दूं कि I will say something कि Christ as humans we have already seen.
Yes.
है ना?
बिल्कुल.
जितने भी साल हो गए 2000 साल 1300 साल 14 15 16 जो भी टाइम है I'm not good with time phases. ठीक है ना? We have seen. ठीक है ना? क्या हशर किया?
वाकई.
What did we do with Christ?
Yeah. Crucified.
हजरत ईसा को हमने
Crucified.
कब्रिस्तान के दरवाजे पे ले जाके खड़ा कर दिया. क्यों खड़ा किया?
क्योंकि वो
मुर्दे जिंदा करते थे.
और करते वो फायदा ही थे हमारे लिए.
यानी कि मुर्दे जिंदा करते थे तो उनको कब्रिस्तान के दरवाजे पे ले जाके खड़ा कर दिया क्रूसिफिकेशन में. ठीक है ना? Unfortunately, as humans.
Yeah.
Now the other thing is this is something we have not seen. ठीक है ना? This is something the Dajjal we haven't seen, but we have read about it, and the worst thing about it. What is the worst thing about this thing? What do you think? What is the worst thing about this particular thing?
About the Dajjal?
Yeah. We have it's in our scriptures as well.
Yeah.
There will be a Dajjal, one eye, spiritual eye. सबको पता है. And I won't go through that. But what is the worst thing about this thing?
That it can actually do what it says on the tin.
Yeah, but that's one thing.
That's the worst thing is there.
There's no small print. It's all written in loud.
Yeah.
But what is the worst thing about this thing?
Apart
That
from
we are being mentally prepared about it. Repeatedly. Repeatedly it is bringing in front of us something or the others coming there. If you notice on the TV, the one eye is to be seen. Then it won't be shocking for us.
It won't be shocking to us.
Yeah, it won't be shocking to us. And जब shocking नहीं है तो acceptance easy है.
बिल्कुल.
When something is not shocking, the acceptance is easy.
It becomes a natural course of.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like Coke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone need Coke?
No.
No. ठीक है ना? But
Coke.
there's still advertisement every day. You can look at advertisement
Bilkul.
directly or indirectly on YouTube or maybe TV. Mainstream media, they kill it. Why do they do it?
Subconsciously तो आपने partially accept कर ही लिया है पहले से.
It's for all the generations to learn that Coke is the king. I'm just giving an example of Coke. But the thing is that this is basically they are
A
brainwashing.
constant reminder of it.
Constant reminder of it.
बिल्कुल.
So the acceptance is easy.
So the acceptance is
Yeah.
easy.
5 में से एक आदमी भी कर ले.
Yeah.
5 में से एक आदमी भी कर ले तो 500 में से कितने हो गए? तो शाम भाई होते तो बता तो वो नहीं है तो we leave that 100 आदमी हो गए.
बिल्कुल.
ये चीज़ है.
So this is the entire conversation that we are engaged in right now.
Yes.
Can we certainly us three turn around and conclude that this is the Dajjal?
We can't say कि will this be the Dajjal, but the Dajjal is going to be from this earth.
From this earth.
It is going to be a creation.
So let's say in the array of things, this seems like the most likely thing that it could turn out to be.
It could be.
Yeah,
it could
turn
There's a
out
very
to be.
big possibility.
There's a big possibility that it's AI.
It's going to have artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence in it.
क्योंकि अगर देखा जाए तो मुझे क्या कहते हैं उसे, मैं जैसे कि as my family background goes, if somebody sits on a जैसे कि for example उस दिन कब्र, मैंने कहा I don't believe it.
Yes.
मेरा belief बहुत पक्का है.
Hmm.
I don't believe in things so easily. ठीक है ना? And there will be loads of like me. Even your
Yeah.
belief won't be like that.
Yeah.
It's difficult to rattle. Shahzad has already accepted everything. But I'm just giving an example that people tend to believe, but mine doesn't rattle that easily. I don't believe. अगर कोई कहता है कि जी वहाँ मौजज़ा हो गया, मैंने कहा हो गया होगा. मैंने कहा मुझे तो नज़र नहीं आया ना.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है ना. Until I don't see it, I hear it, and it comes in my understanding.
See, this is where we're at a sort of curve, I will say, so to speak. We began this conversation in terms of enlightenment of what's actually going on in the 2020, apart from the COVID-19. Where are we as a humanity? Where are we in terms of scientific advances? And why is it that we picked up on scientific advances? Well, it's because that's what shapes our future and the environments that we're going to be living in. Predominantly, it has a big bearing on it. And that's what leads humanity in a certain direction, for example. Now, AI being AI, it certainly has these characteristics that if we were to turn around to speculate and say, well, 25, what the time frame they're saying is 2045, the singularity will be achieved. Let's say 2080, they've achieved everything, and there is a humanoid now, and there's a governing body. The environment it creates is when you step out of your house, you know somebody is looking. You know somebody is watching over you. You know somebody is going to be able to help you in whatever circumstances. If you fast forward 100 years where we're not there anymore, we've expired. But the future generations are going to be able to come outside and know that even the lampposts are looking at them. And if anything happens, it sounds funny. It sounds funny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But if you speak on the street, there's somebody listening. If you get into trouble,
Shahzad gets out now and the car is looking at him, and he's looking at the car. You're looking at me. Well, this is how it's going to be.
It's going to be
the
a
cars
weird
have
world.
memory at the moment.
But the thing is, as we step out 100 years ago, we know we step out and God is watching over us. If we're in trouble, God is watching over us. If there's any issues or we need to call out, we call out to God, for example. And if the balance in another 100 years will be that your faith has to diminish and the scriptures are going to be obsolete, right? There are certain elements to that that actually elevate a good foundation of belief and a structure. Now in 2020, we see many problems, as you've seen many problems, Shahzad Bhai, with people. And the fundamentals of it is they've actually strayed from a path of belief.
Yes.
That's the core of why people are going through problems. The other thing is that what we do in Sufi spiritual society, and my observations have been, is we revert people back to the old systems of belief. For example, Nazar Utarna, right? The modern day man of 2020 may look at that and say, Nazar Utarna bhi koi kaam hai. You put a coin 6 times around your head and, jungle is massive, you're okay. Some people don't believe in that. Some people treat that as such an old thing. It's now irrelevant, for example. But it's these fundamental beliefs that are going to be in the future very valuable. Will they still work, for example? They will. But they'll have such an opposition. It'll be extremely difficult for one to judge between which way to go.
True.
When you step outside and there's humanoids coming down and helping you out and you can get cured and you know that you're not going to die, or if you, for example, have a heart attack, you know you're going to live for a lot longer than you do normally. It's a part of us, our human vulnerability. It makes our way of doing things. It sort of governs us in a way. I know if I get hit by a car, it's going to hurt and I'm going to die. Or if I have a heart attack, good chance I'm going to die on the second or maybe the first heart attack. But when there's things that can bring you back, rejuvenate you, things like that, it sort of gets us out of our human cocoon that we live in, this world that we start living in. So the thing is, I'd like to change the dimension of our conversation today because the listeners have heard us say what we've said in the first and the second podcast. But in each after each podcast, there's been things that we've discussed off air that have been highly interesting.
Yes.
And this is where it's going to get very more interesting. Hopefully it'll get more interesting for yourselves. Right now, we're missing Money Boy. If he was here, it would be a greater company. But between us, Shahzad, we're able to think on a let's say on a human scale. If there was 1 to 10, between 1 and 10 is our capabilities and capacities. 10 is like a very high genius, and there'll be a far few people on that. On a regular basis, if you put all humanity on it, we're all on a level of thinking which is 5. Yeah. This AI is going to come along and be able to think on structure 11.
Yeah, way beyond.
Way beyond us.
Because he will have everyone's thinking. And the worst thing about his thinking is we can think about one thing at one time as humans.
Yes.
This is interesting. This part is interesting. What I'd like to point out is, see, so far if you observe what comes out of us humans in terms of our geniuses mimics our own being. For example, we made what's it called, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi already exists in telepathy or other forms of spirituality. Which it connects everything. So there's a thing that became mainstream which already existed for as long as humanity's existed. Now singularity is going to come along, which is already existing, is the core of our existence. So in terms of what we spoke about off air a couple of times, was around the subject singularity, the single thought, and what the one missing element between the link that I'm trying to make here is me and you can think on the average wavelength of 5, but with yourself,
I can think 8.
You can think
8.
You can even think on 11.
Yeah, no, not 11.
The reason I say that is there's a duality between an enlightened person, where Baha'u, for example, Baha'u takes you into the next dimension.
Yes.
And that power can take you to 11. And you can come back to 5 being yourself, but you can go to 11 through Baha'u. And this is a very big phenomenon, because it outlines the elevation of the human without the need of any AI or artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And that is a gift from God.
Yeah.
Which makes you in this particular way. And you're able to speak from a wavelength we're not able to actually speak from, but we agree with.
But I'll clarify one thing, that Baha'u works on certain rules and regulations.
Yeah.
It is all basically governed by certain rules, Islamically, or maybe if somebody's got this spiritual power from any other religion, even he will be bound by certain rules according to his own religion. But here we are talking, the Wi-Fi, is it restricted by any mean?
Yeah.
It only has an age restriction. You can watch, hear, see whatever you want.
Whatever you want through that.
Whatever you want through that Wi-Fi. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Right.
The AY will be interconnected through every device in this universe, on this earth that exists. The perfect humanoid, how will he be? You will ask him a question like, for example, Asad's dad, what is he eating? Within seconds he'll say, all right. As long as Asad's dad is connected through the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely makes sense. Yeah.
And he'll say, oh, he's having anda paratha. Hypothetical example.
Yeah.
Anda paratha. Straight away. Now we were talking about watching. The poles are watching us.
Yeah.
The poles are watching us. There are cameras on the poles. They're mounted.
Yes.
देखो पहले जो था, when we look at things about 50 years ago, Allah Ta'ala dekh raha hai. We used to believe in these things. Now what has happened is the poles are watching us.
Yes.
Why don't we believe that they are watching us, that when we are in trouble, the poles will help us? Or the camera, behind the camera, there has to be an eye. The camera is there, so there has to be a screen to display that, and there has to be an eye to watch that camera, what it's showing him. Now the problem here is that the camera is watching on us. It's observing us. It sees us. Tomorrow if Shahzad goes out and scratches somebody's car, theek hai na? So what will happen? The camera will tell the police.
Yes.
And if somebody inquires about it, they will look at that, and on this behind the screen, the eye will tell him that this guy has scratched the camera, and this is his registration. This is what basically the cameras do, and the AI will be connected to everything. It will be a super duper fast computer.
Yeah.
In the form of a body, a human body, or maybe metal body. But as far as I think, it won't be a metal body. It will be a human body.
Human body. It's not far-fetched. It's actually a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It will have that capacity.
It's not gonna come like the Terminator.
Yeah.
Behind a truck without any clothes and landing, and it's not one of those things. As far as I think, my knowledge, I'm not any super bahao person. But one thing I can understand कि ये खूबियाँ जो है ना, ये कहीं और की हैं. ये जो खूबियाँ हैं ना, ये कहीं और की हैं. बट ये जो है, ये खूबियाँ नहीं है, ये खामियाँ हैं. और ये खामियाँ आसमान से नहीं उतरती. Can you understand?
ये खामियाँ यहीं से पैदा होती
हैं. ये यहीं से पैदा होती हैं. यहीं से पैदा होती हैं.
You see, the comparison is that जब ये statement कर देगा ना, अब फास्ट फॉरवर्ड कर देते हैं, आ गया है, जो भी जैसे भी बना हुआ है, मिट्टी का ही बना हुआ है, हमारी तरह ही है. और उसने दावा भी कर दिया कि I am Jesus. And then further on अभी वो स्टेज पे चला गया कि no, you know what, I'm God. वो कर गया जो भी करना था उसने. He's able to see everything all at once, communicate to everybody that's connected to the Wi-Fi, bring people back to life. He's able to do extraordinary things, control the weather, blah, 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 blah.
He's got basically X-ray machine, scan machine, laser data, everything. He can print there and then he can delete, omit, and do all the things that we basically struggle to do.
Yeah. So now if he comes across somebody like yourself, and you're able to, let's say, close your eyes, not close your eyes, and also scan at the same time, tell what somebody's able to, what's somebody doing in Pakistan.
Yeah.
There is a competition kind of thing.
There is a competition, but you can't compete with something like that.
Yeah.
उसके लिए profits चाहिए.
Yeah.
क्योंकि उसके अंदर हर खूबी होगी.
Yeah.
हर खूबी होगी, हर खराबी होगी, हर खामी होगी, हर चीज़ होगी. प्रॉफिट्स के अंदर जो है सिर्फ खूबियाँ होती हैं. प्रॉफिट्स के अंदर सिर्फ खूबियाँ होती हैं. There's a difference. I've got flaws.
Yeah.
ठीक है ना? I've got flaws.
Yeah.
That flaws he will already know. If you compare him with a spiritualist, so जो spiritualist है उसके अंदर खूबियाँ भी हैं मगर खामियाँ भी होंगी. वीकनेस आपको ले डूबेगी. आपकी वीकनेस ही ले डूबती है ना. If a batsman is weak on one, समझ लो कवर की तरफ अगर वीक है तो क्या होगा? वहीं से बोल्ड होता है वो, वहीं से कैच हो जाता है, वहीं से कॉट बिहाइंड हो जाता है. हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल.
The game is written.
प्रॉफिट के अंदर सिर्फ खूबियाँ होती हैं. वो खूबियाँ होती हैं. उसके अंदर फ्लॉ नहीं होगा. उसको पकड़ना मुश्किल है. क्योंकि उसके पास हर चीज का हल है. प्रॉफिट है ना वो.
बिल्कुल
भाई ना, प्रॉफिट्स पे पैगंबरों में और एक आम आदमी में क्या फर्क है? उसके बाद हर चीज का हल है.
हर चीज का हल है.
हर चीज का हल है. यूनिवर्सल लेवल पे.
चांद के 2 टुकड़े कर दें.
चांद के 2 टुकड़े कर दें. मुर्दों को जिंदा कर दें. यू नो व्हाट आई मीन? दीज आर द थिंग्स. जहाँ फ्लॉ होगा वहाँ वो कामयाब होगा. तो दज्जाल जहाँ फ्लॉलेस हो जाएगा वो ऑपोजिट पावर बन जाएगी उसकी.
ऑपोजिट पावर बन जाएगी. आप बड़ी दिलचस्प बात कर गए थे पिछली दफ़ा, ऑफ एयर हो गई थी हमारी. और वो थी कि इसके पास जो
डाटा होगा
वो इसके पास एक कुव्वत होगी. He will have a decision making power. And so when given his flaws and his decision making power, and no thinking is necessary to make that decision, because he's already come to a point where he's already knows what he's going to do. He's going to do it. This sort of thinking also has an opposition. And now if we say, which we know our prophets, 100% no flaw, flawless and divine.
Yeah, divine.
And being divine, do they also, well, they have the decision-making power without thinking, is what you said.
Yeah, they don't think. Prophets don't think.
They don't need to think.
They don't need to think. Prophets में सोचने की जो है ना, एक आम छोटे से यानी कि साहिब मज़ार को ले लो, वो क्या सोचते होंगे?
नहीं,
सोचने का काम नहीं
सोचने
है।
का काम।
जहाँ बिलीफ आती है वहाँ सोचने का काम नहीं है, क्योंकि सोच जो है वो बिलीफ को रैटल करती है।
बिल्कुल,
ठीक है ना, वो सोच जो है बिलीफ को रैटल करती है, ये चीज़ है। और जहाँ आप डेटा बैंक की बात कर रहे हो, उसके पास हर चीज़ का यानी कि टिल द डॉट ही विल हैव डेटा, एंड दैट इज व्हाट विल मेक हिम पावरफुल। यानी कि इफ इज अ ह्यूमनॉइड,
It's an existence.
लेकिन यही बात हो रही थी ऑफलाइन के, उसके पास वहाँ आके उसके पास फ्लॉ आ जाएगा कि वो डाटा नहीं होगा कि अगर कोई सोर्स को टच करके आया हो या जिसकी सोच ना हो।
हाँ, जिसकी सोच ना हो ना, जिसकी सोच ना हो, क्योंकि वो जो है वो बीइंग है ही नहीं अब।
यस,
वो बीइंग नहीं है ना। अब कोई प्रॉफिट है यहाँ पे?
नहीं।
कोई दुनिया में प्रॉफिट है? नहीं है, कोई भी नहीं है। ठीक है ना। अभी जो है प्रॉफिट में से समझ लो कि हर प्रॉफिट में से कहीं ना कहीं नस्ल निकलती होगी, बट वो नहीं है, प्रॉफिट नहीं है। सैयद होंगे ज़्यादा में ज़्यादा, या और किसी रिलीजन में अगर कोई उनकी नस्ल से हो, या किसी और जगह कोई प्रॉफिट से हो, बट वो खुद तो नहीं है ना। देखो, खुद होना इज़ अ डिफरेंट थिंग, नस्ल से होना इज़ अ डिफरेंट थिंग। देयर आर डिफरेंसेस, बिकॉज टाइम के साथ साथ आपका पैटर्न जो है चेंज हो जाता है। उस ज़माने में जो है मेरे ख्याल से खादी के कपड़े पहनते थे, वोल के
जी।
हाँ, अब जो है वो क्या कहते हैं, अमेज़न के कपड़े पहनते हैं,
बिल्कुल,
है ना। देयर इज अ डिफरेंस, टाइम्स हैव चेंज्ड। हर दौर के हिसाब से वो चीज़ चेंज हुई है।
So the only real comeback is, and it has to be, is the coming of a prophet. Because that will be the... Or the coming back of a prophet. Another
prophet.
prophet can't be coming now.
Coming back of a prophet.
Back of a prophet makes more sense.
यानी कि कोई इस तरह की चीज़, क्योंकि ये ह्यूमन से तो यानी कि you cannot fight something that has the thought process, the power of all the humans, most about all the humans, near about all. You cannot, mental capacity भी नहीं है, नॉलेज उसके पास जो है पूरी जहाँ की होगी, भले वो साइंस ले लो, मैथमेटिक्स ले लो, फिजिक्स ले लो, होली बुक्स उसको ज़बानी याद से, मतलब हर चीज़ का उसके पास तशरीह से लेके सब कुछ होगा।
बिल्कुल,
यानी कि वो क्या कहते हैं उसको, जो राइट हैंड साइड पे होता है कुरान के, तफसीर, सारी तफसीरें सबकी पता होंगी। जो बड़े बड़े उलमा और मशाइख हैं उनकी तफसीरें याद होंगी उसको जब वो बयान करेगा तो लोग हम जैसे बोलेंगे सुभान अल्लाह, यू नो, वन ऑफ दोज थिंग्स है ना। जब वो बयान करेगा सुभान अल्लाह, हम जैसे लोग जो है ना, सादे लोग हैं,
उसको ये भी पता होगा हमें किस आवाज़ में ज़्यादा पसंद है,
और हमें ये भी उसको ये भी पता होगा कि ये आदमी इस फ्रिक्वेंसी पे जो है ना जाता है।
It's going to be tough.
What?
It's going to be very,
it's going to be a test of faith, my friend.
A big test.
A big test of faith.
And the grounds to this test is already laid, and we're well on the way of doing that. So if we were to position ourselves on the scale of where we are, we're at the door. Basically the 20th century जो अभी चल रही है, it is the beginning of the era. This is a beginning.
सही।
लेकिन मैं एक बात बता दूं कि इस बिगिनिंग में अभी कितने साल हो गए 20 को आए हुए,
2020 हो गए,
20 years हो गए, 20 years हो गए 2020 को आए हुए, और अभी 2000 को आए हुए। अब ये बड़ी इल्मी बात बता रहा हूँ, ये बहाव का सब्जेक्ट है, लेकिन ये इल्मी बात है, मसरूर भाई सुनेंगे एंड ही विल पिक ऑन इट। 20 को ईयर 2000 को आए हुए 20 साल हुए हैं, और अभी साल क्या चल रहा है
2020
पूरी दुनिया अपने घरों के अंदर बंद हो गई है 20 साल के अंदर। 2000 का साल है, 20 का साल है, और 20 ही जब लगा है तो पूरी दुनिया अपने घरों के अंदर बंद होके बैठ रही है। Is this something to think about?
Yeah.
Is it a sign?
A very big sign.
It's a very big sign.
Very big sign.
Very
if you,
big sign.
If you look at it as a sign. Yeah.
If you look at it as a sign. Now the thing comes with this case, there could be two theories to this. There could be two theories to this. Because everything works on theories. सोच की प्रोसेस है, मेरी भी सोचने की भी सलाहियत है। ये तो नहीं कि हर चीज़ भाव में आती है।
हाँ नहीं है।
कि is this done to see our actions? How do we react if we are shut down? Can you understand?
Yeah.
To know more about us. Now we are on our phones 24/7.
बिल्कुल।
यानी कि the internet is booming, Netflix is booming, everything is booming. In normal circumstances, would we be doing this? I don't even think we would have made a studio if we didn't need to. Isn't it?
True. बिल्कुल।
But the times that are coming, इसके अंदर अंधेरे में ही बैठना पड़ेगा। ये बड़े रम्स की बात है ये। यानी कि वो एक क्या कहते हैं उसे, मैंने एक जगह पढ़ा था, ये काफ़ी पुरानी बात है, एंड आई टोल्ड माय डैड एज वेल। कह रहे हैं कि हाँ चांद ये वक्त भी आएगा दुनिया में। कहते हैं कि जो आपके जो कपड़े हैं ना, ये आप खिड़कियों के इर्द गिर्द लगाओगे कि रोशनी ना आए बाहर से।
अच्छा।
if there is a nuclear blast, this is what you can do utmost. Yes. You have to avoid fire and light coming inside your house.
बिल्कुल।
यानी कि किस तरह प्रोटेक्ट करोगे, यही के कपड़े जो है ना, ये चीज़ है। मुझे न्यूक्लियर का नहीं पता था, मैंने सिर्फ पढ़ा था। मैंने कहा वो टाइम आएगा कि हाँ ये वक्त भी देखेगी दुनिया, कि ना बाहर से कोई आवाज़ आए, ना कोई रोशनी आए। अभी तो सिर्फ एक वायरस आया है कि इट्स जस्ट basically the beginning of the century at exactly 2020 when it split into two.
Yes.
And 20 is basically there's another 20 with it. So ये चीज़ है। Now this could be कि they want to see more, they want to learn more, कि if us as humans, if they are basically clamped down to stay in their closet houses, ठीक है ना, if you read the stories on the internet of some people who have sat down in their houses and what they are doing, it's phenomenal.
बिल्कुल।
गुड बैड अगली सब मिलते हैं। कुछ लोग गलत काम भी कर रहे हैं, कुछ सही भी कर रहे हैं, जो जिसकी समझ में आ रहा है कर रहे हैं। बट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग विद दिस, इससे हो क्या रहा है कि दे आर नोइंग मोर अबाउट ईच पर्सन इंडिविजुअली।
बिल्कुल।
हर आदमी के बारे में जानकारी इख्तियार हो रही है।
You're becoming an experiment within your own four walls.
Yeah. अच्छा, now one thing, now ये तो एक साइड हो गई है इसकी। Now if we shift it to the other side, for a prophet या आइमा कोई आ जाए, return of the prophet या return of आइमा, ठीक है ना, एक ने तो आना है, we all know, the 12वां इमाम। He basically, they have been all through this. गारों में बैठने की, अंधेरे में बैठने की आदत होती है।
क्या बात है। यस,
है ना, गारों में बैठने की, अंधेरे में बैठने की आदत होती है। ठीक है ना, क्योंकि वो एरा देख चुके हैं जो ये एरा में लाइटें नहीं है। उस जमाने में बिजली के बिल नहीं आते थे, ना ईऑन था, ना कुछ था। ना कोई ऐसे पेट्रोल की गाड़ियां चलती थी। ठीक है ना, अभी गाड़ियां क्या कर रही हैं, गाड़ियां फ्लीट की फ्लीट खड़ी हुई है। फॉर अस इट्स ऑलराइट, फ्लीट्स आर स्टैंडिंग, बट उनको तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। ये चीज़ें कैसे क्या कहते हैं, हाउ विल यू बेसिकली फीड दिस थिंग इन हिम, कि हाउ विल अ पर्सन रिएक्ट टू समथिंग लाइक दिस, जो पहले भी आ चुका है, जो दोबारा भी आएगा। सबसे पहले तो ये खूबी कहाँ से लेकर आएंगे,
वाकई
सोचने वाली बात है ना। जो पहले भी आ चुका है और वो दोबारा भी आएगा, ये खूबी आप ये सोच कहाँ से लेकर आओगे? वेयर आर यू गोना डेवलप दैट थॉट प्रोसेस इन हिम और इट
to say that अगर वो दोबारा आ सकते हैं like Hazrat Isa. So you know, if we're sitting here and we've got these prophecies in mind, I'm sure that he's going to also have things that have been taught to him from the same structure of people that have knowledge of this is what them people do in that house and talked about.
और सबसे बड़ी खूबी क्या है, अब मेरा टाइम हो गया है। सबसे बड़ी खूबी क्या है जो उसमें और बाकी में फ़र्क होगा दूसरे में,
जो दज्जाल में और बाकियों में होगा,
जो प्रॉफिट्स में होगा, जो प्रॉफिट आएंगे
without any flaws, you said earlier.
नो ये सिखाया हुआ है, वो सीखा सिखाया
वो
होता है।
सीखा सिखाया, यस,
सीखा
प्रॉफिट को सिखाया नहीं जाता, आइमा को सिखाया नहीं जाता। दे आर द नॉलेजेबल्स।
ज़्यादा
उनको बैठ के किताबें तफसीर नहीं समझाई जाती, दे नो ऑल द तफसीर्स,
they just know
दे जस्ट नो एवरीथिंग,
and do everything.
डू एवरीथिंग। ये खूबी कहाँ से लाओगे आप?
बिल्कुल,
ये चीज़ है ना। दैट्स वाई ऐसी चीज़ से लड़ने के लिए ऐसे ही आएगा कोई, ऐसी चीज़ से लड़ने के लिए ऐसे ही आएगा कोई who knows everything, and he will even know कि how till what extent the Dajjal can think, because he's the one who knows.
Yeah, and he can actually overpower or overthink.
Yeah,
You don't even need to think; they can just overpower the Dajjal anytime.
ओवर पावर का तो पावर का तो सवाल ही नहीं है ना। एक आदमी सिखाया हुआ है, एक सीखा सिखाया हुआ है, so then there is a very big difference in it.
The master is the
The
master.
master is the master. ठीक है ना?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, ये चीज़ है ना। इस तरह की चीज़ें यानी कि ये we just assuming a lot of things, we're just talking about it. Well, this is what we do.
Well, it's
As humans, we just sit and
even,
chat.
you know,
I'm sorry to say.
even if we talk on any level, the outcome is always the same as the prophecy.
yes,
The prophecy is always
Never
been,
be wrong. Prophecy
never
never be wrong.
it'll always be the same. So this guy, this Dajjal entity will come. He will announce, "I am Jesus," then "I am God." Many people will fall into that trap. Eventually, the chosen one will return, and the world will be saved once it's been destroyed.
yes,
And the whole control will inevitably go back to the faithful and the faith in God.
The faith in God.
And these are very, and the thing is that,
But in I think 7 seconds or 10 seconds, you'd basically described this whole
coming and going.
coming and going and everything. But have you imagined? Imagine करो, the world is destroyed.
It's a big.
अभी तो सिर्फ हम घर में बंद हुए हैं।
वाकई,
हाँ, तो हमारी पूपा निकली भी है।
हमारी जो जहाँ तक हमारी सोचने की कुव्वत है, हम इसको मजीद ब्रेक डाउन करके भी हर अगर पॉइंट पे
Now
देखें,
look at the movies.
the movies are crazy.
Look at the movies. The world is being destructed. हमें सब चीजें visually, when we say the world is finished, we look at maybe some
All scenarios have been shown.
all scenarios have been shown.
Zombies, death,
Death and
yeah,
everything.
Everything has been shown, and
Yeah.
and so it goes to show that some other people know what the future holds as well.
ये
जिन्होंने ये बनाई है मूवीज, उनको कुछ ना कुछ तो इनपुट है ही। और अगर if we look at it from the other point of view, अगर ये एक्सपेरिमेंटली हमें दिखा रहे हैं कि हम थोड़ा सा एक्सेप्टेंस की तरफ आ जाएंगे,
acceptance की तरफ।
वो आने वाले कल के बारे में भी दिखा रहे हैं कि ये zombies होंगे, ये क्या कहते हैं, घर में पाबंदी होगी, ये न्यूक्लियर बम्स आएंगे, या ये ओवरटेक करेगा। They also showing you the destructive part.
yes,
So does that mean they already know that, you know what, this is what we want to show them?
They are showing basically the both sides of everything. They are showing the faithful and the unfaithful. They are showing the destructed और the destructful, यानी कि जो कर रहे हैं और जो destructful है और जो destructed हो गए हैं या ये कि होने वाले हैं। फेथफुल दिखा रहे हैं, नमाजें एक तरफ दिखा रहे हैं, एक तरफ गॉड चैनल चल रहे हैं, एक तरफ सब कुछ चल रहा है। कांट यू, यानी कि बेसिकली टू स्विच रिलीजन्स दीस डेज इज लाइक स्विचिंग अ चैनल।
And you know what it elevates though? Itna dikhana and all this, that, the other. It elevates that you can't do anything about it.
It elevates it, yeah. You can't do jack about it.
Jack about it.
You can't do jack about it.
देखते रहो बस.
देखते रहो बस, देखते रहो।
Opinion
वो
रखो.
as a sublineal message तो नहीं दिखा सकते because it's illegal to show on TV on internet. Sublineal message जो वो स्पीड के साथ जो है ना, जैसे for example if people are
Flash,
watching a flash which comes in a
goes straight
through
डायरेक्ट सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में
सबकॉन्शियस
जाता
माइंड में
है
आता है. जैसे ये पॉडकास्ट का वो चल रहा है, इफ यू लुक एट द थिंगीज, इसके अंदर एक सबलिनियल मैसेज हो, फॉलो शाह साहब, है ना, एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, तो लेकिन वो इलीगल होता है, इट्स अ क्राइम बेसिकली, इट्स अ क्रिमिनल थिंग. बट हाउ डू वी नो कि वी आर नॉट गेटिंग सबलिनियल मैसेजेस?
अगर समझ आ जाए तो सबलिमिनियल नहीं कहलाएगा,
सबलिनियल नहीं कहलाएगा.
नहीं वो
अभी आपको इंटरेस्टिंगली बात बताऊं, सॉरी मैं बात काट रहा हूँ. इफ यू गो ऑन द नेट ऑन यूट्यूब, सेम यूट्यूब, एंड यू सर्च अप के आई हैव वॉच्ड XYZ मैट्रिक्स और समथिंग लाइक दैट, एंड द आई हैव वॉच्ड इट इन इतने टाइम स्लो मोशन, सो दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव सीन. Go and have a look. You'll find a lot of things on this. Subliminal message इतना फास्ट जाता है कि आपको पता ही नहीं सबकॉन्शियस के अंदर पहुंचा हुआ होता है.
वो भी एक
लाइक ड्रिंक कोक एक जमाने में आया था ना, सबलिनियल चलता था ना, फिर इलीगल हुआ था आई थिंक इन द 60s. I'm not very sure कब क्या हुआ.
If it was illegal, that means it had a very powerful influence on your psyche.
सबलिनियल्स भी जो है इवॉल्व हो गए हैं अब, डायरेक्ट कमांड्स की जगह images में जो है वो embed हो गए.
And why images? Because symbols. The images are symbols, symbolic.
Images are symbols.
And they are more powerful than anything else.
They leave a marking on your brain.
Yeah.
They leave a marking. Like 40 years ago, if I saw someone, if I look at him again, I think I've seen this guy somewhere because it's an image. Same image. Word I will forget.
Are symbols more powerful than letters and numbers?
Yeah, but images हमेशा, symbols comes in images, है ना? Images. Symbols are more powerful, and they have the power to destruct and create and everything at the same time. There's a lot of theories about this as well. But ये मैं बात बता दूं कि ये सारी चीज़ें जो है ना, ये हमें फीड की जा रही हैं, हमारे बच्चों को फीड की जा रही हैं, आने वाली नस्लों को फीड की जा रही हैं. होते होते ये हो जाएगा कि ये हमारे DNA के अंदर मार्किंग की तरह चलेगी.
मार्किंग की तरह. और उनको भी ये पता है कि यहाँ तक करके लेके आनी है और इतना अरसा लगेगा. By the third or fourth generation, this is what we've got. So controlling will be easy. देखो कंट्रोल, मैंने यही कहा था कि it's not controlling us, we are already controlled. हाँ.
एक साल कोविड-19 ने पूरी दुनिया को घर बैठा रखा है.
आपने कुछ कहा था कि it's your decision making that has to be controlled. आपकी सोच कंट्रोल्ड होनी चाहिए. And सोच makes us if you notice in सोच ही तो हम असद साहब में और मेरे में क्या फ़र्क है? What makes you असद? It's your सोच. Individual thinking. Yeah.
Because आपकी सोच के अंदर आपके माँ बाप, भाई बहन, बीवी बच्चे सोच के अंदर होते हैं. मेरी सोच के अंदर मेरी फैमिली होगी. जब वो सोच पे कंट्रोल करेंगे तो आपके बच्चे आपके नहीं रहेंगे.
हाँ, वो
इन्फ्लुएंसेस चेंज हो जाएंगी ना, प्रायोरिटीज चेंज हो जाएंगी, सब कुछ चेंज हो जाएगा.
और उनको ऐसा क्रिएट करने के लिए दे हैव टू टेक यू अवे फ्रॉम फेथ एंड रिलीजन.
फेथ इज सच अ थिंग कि वो आपके सोच के ऊपर जो है ना तारी होती है.
हाँ,
फेथ जो है ना, बिलीफ, मैंने पहले भी ये बात कही थी कि किसी आदमी को अगर रैटल करना हो तो उसका मजहब छेड़ दो, यानी फेथ या बिलीफ, या उसके बच्चे छेड़ दो, रैटल हो जाता है.
और हम जितना भी करें वो रैटल हो जाएगा. ये जो हो रहा है उसको पता ही नहीं.
हाँ, क्योंकि और हम रैटल से मतलब रैटल भी नहीं होंगे हम उस वक्त. वाई? क्योंकि बच्चे जो हैं हमारे, दे विल ऑलरेडी बी faithless and they will understand the anti-God. I will put it down as anti-God. They will understand the anti-God. अभी आप देख लो, पिछले if you go back 50 years, आपने बहुत कम शादो नादिर सुना होगा कि किसी औलाद ने माँ बाप को मारा हो.
बिल्कुल.
अब कितना सुनने में आता है? अब सुनने में आ रहा है. What do you think now? The other, with this subject, I'm bringing another subject in about drugs. What do you think? The government can't stop it, or the governments can't stop it?
They enhance the influences of it.
Why?
To promote promote this culture of lawlessness. There's no denying what you're saying is true, and there's no denying we're all a part of this whole concept of being observed.
दे वांट पीपल कि हमें जंगली भी नजर आए, जानवर भी नजर आए, इंसान भी नजर आए, टोपी भी नजर आए, because it is data collection, my friend.
They're looking for signs of these prophecies. Where are the one? Because there's one that's coming, no doubt, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, the son of Mary. God bless them and shower mercy upon them.
Peace be upon him.
Peace be upon them. There's no doubt they're going to come. But the Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam, peace be upon him, and no doubt that they're already here. No, hasn't the not the conspiracy? Hasn't the theology always been there? Always been here, not gone anywhere.
Not gone anywhere.
So where these guys are observing it?
क्योंकि इसका ये मैं बता दूं कि रूहानियत में ये कहते हैं कि आइमा हर वक्त में मौजूद होते हैं.
ठीक.
वरना फिर अगर ये ना होता तो या अली मदद कहने पे गिरता ही आदमी, रुकता कैसे?
हाँ,
ये चीज़ है. मैं एक मिसाल दे रहा हूँ जस्ट फॉर सेक ऑफ बिलीफ, फेथ वाली बात है ये चीज़ है. प्रॉफिट्स एंड आइमा डोंट गो एनीवेयर, दे आर ऑलवेज प्रेजेंट. क्योंकि हाल की कैफियत है ना, दे आर ऑलवेज प्रेजेंट. उनके लिए हर वक्त प्रेजेंट है. हमारे लिए 1400 साल है, but for them it's not 1400 years. For this world is 1400 years.
They're elevated.
They are elevated. They are beyond time. They are beyond time.
Beyond those our capacity of thinking.
हमारी
सोच से
बाहर है.
MashaAllah, that's the beauty of it. We've got the correct faith at the right place.
Yeah.
Now the thing that makes it even more, it's always for me being that where do you position ourselves being in the current times, and currently in 2020 we're a system of belief. So we're a system of belief. 28 Sufi spiritual society, Sufi guidance.
Yeah.
We're a system of belief, and people gravitate towards the system of belief. And what does the system of belief hand them? Hands them ancient practices, revival of rituals, and the acquaintance of sitting alone in the dark.
और ये खाली ये नहीं है कि सूफी गाइडेंस अकेला ही कर रहा है. बहुत सारे मदारिस हैं, बहुत सारे तरीके हैं, सिलसिले हैं जो ये काम करवाते हैं. ये नहीं कि ये इट्स नॉट ओनली अस. आई विल नॉट से कि इट्स ओनली अस. बहुत सारे लोग करवाते हैं कि रिवाइवल ऑफ बिलीफ एंड मेक श्योर कि योर बिलीफ यू डोंट रैटल. यू डोंट रैटल. और वो रैटल कैसे होगा आदमी, कभी ये सोचा है कैसे होगा? किसी का बच्चा मर रहा है कोविड-19 से और पता हो कि दज्जाल के पास इलाज है. व्हाट विल दैट पर्सन डू?
गो देयर.
वो जाएगा.
क्या
वो जाएगा? उसके
व्हाट विल बी द यकीन वाला क्या करेगा?
वो बैठा रहेगा अल्लाह के भरोसे.
अल्लाह के भरोसे बैठा रहेगा. ये होता है. दिस इज द तरीकत एंड सलासिल.
बच्चा मरता है, मर जाए,
वो यानी कि अल्लाह की देन है.
हाँ, लेन है, देन है.
लेन है तो देन है, देन है तो लेन भी है. वो बिलीव करेगा.
So be strong in your belief is what we preach.
यानी कि this is what everyone preaches.
So this is the thing about everyone and us. We have an established platform where we speak from.
Yeah.
For example, where predominantly people seek guidance and they seek health, for example, through the Dham. This is predominantly what one in, let's say, 1 million other places do the same. If there's 1 million other madrase, other places that
madaris, and the other thing is दूसरे religions में भी होता है.
And
in Christianity, they follow these things. Even in the Hinduism, everything. ये सारी चीजें हिंदुइज्म में होती हैं. But जब ये सब होगा ना, तो फिर religions जो है एक दूसरे के अंदर जंप से हो जाएंगे. क्योंकि one will be so super power कि everyone will feel weak. Can you understand?
Yes.
क्योंकि जब इस तरह की चीज होगी, क्लेम होगा कि आई एम इट, तो फिर क्या होगा?
No one can be in opposition to it.
No one can be in opposition. Otherwise, then what happens is कि बहुत सारे religions unite हो जाते हैं for the time being.
बिल्कुल.
Unity आ जाएगी उनके अंदर. और फिर एक बात याद रखो कि प्रॉफिट होता है.
Profit 100%.
कहने को तो एक रिलीजन का होता है, मगर वो पूरे ह्यूमैनिटी का प्रॉफिट होता है. उसका काम होता है ह्यूमैनिटी सर्व करना. अब कोई माने या ना माने उसको, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं है. उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि वो अपना लोहा आसमानों से मनवा के आ
मनवा
चुका है ज़मीन के
क्या
अंदर।
बात है।
ये यकीन वाली चीज़ें हैं।
Yeah.
तो क्या होगा उससे कि पीपल, यानी कि फिर ये नहीं होगा कि जी ये फलाना तरीक़त का है, या ये फलाना सुन्नी है, या ये फलाना साधु है, या ये कि फलाने क्या कहते हैं उसे क्रिश्चियन है। फिर वो ये कि वो उन सब के लिए काम करेगा, ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड पे काम करेगा। यही हम भी करते हैं, यही दूसरे लोग भी करते हैं जो तरीक़त वाले हैं, सिलसिले वाले हैं, उनको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता। बट there will be one flaw in the Dajjal.
वो क्या?
वो ये नहीं करेगा,
हेल्प नहीं करेगा ह्यूमैनिटी को, is that what you're saying?
ह्यूमैनिटी को हेल्प करेगा, मगर उसके लिए जो प्रेडोमिनेंटली थ्रेट वाले रिलीजन्स होंगे वो उनके अगेंस्ट खड़ा होगा। क्योंकि अगेंस्ट खड़े होने की भी तो कुव्वत है भाई।
बिल्कुल।
हाँ, अगर सब है तो वो भी तो है।
वो भी तो है। अब प्रेडोमिनेंटली जिनके अगेंस्ट खड़ा होगा वो कौन लोग होंगे? Who will be those people? Now we can say कि okay, as we said before, जिनका फेथ पक्का होगा। अच्छा, फेथ पक्का होगा वो क्या करेंगे? घरों के अंदर बंद करके बैठ जाएंगे अपने आप को?
Well, if he said that he's going to read people from based on energies, he'll be able to certainly tell the ones that have some extraordinary energies compared to others.
Yes.
So it'll be spiritual people that he's against.
Yeah. ये उससे पहले है कि जब तक कोई प्रॉफिट आएगा या कोई हेल्प आएगी आसमानी, ये उससे पहले की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ कि if somebody claims up, okay, I'm Dajjal and I've got this, I've got that, ठीक है ना, I've got all these devices with me and I can do everything and I can change a screen and make a screen and show you क्या कहते हैं, show you your own picture on your TV, for example, ठीक है ना, जिसके अंदर ये सारी खूबियाँ होंगी। फिर वो ये कि क्या कहते हैं उसे, आर्टिफिशियली आपके बच्चे भी पैदा करवा देगा।
यस, बिल्कुल।
आर्टिफिशियली बच्चे भी पैदा करवाएगा। आर्टिफिशियली से मतलब जैसे कि वो क्या, टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, ठीक है ना, ये सारी चीज़ें ये भी करवा देगा। आपको क्या कहते हैं उसको, कैंसर भी क्योर कर देगा। देखो कैंसर रेडियोथेरेपी जो है बेसिकली किसी ज़माने में होती थी तो बाकायदा जिसकी होती थी उसके पास नहीं जाते थे। अब होती है लोग क्रिस्टी हॉस्पिटल, दे वॉक इन एंड वॉक आउट, पूरी फैमिली जा रही है, बच्चे उसके साथ, अब वो सब सेफ हो गया है। द वे साइंटिफिकली वी आर प्रोग्रेसिंग, ठीक है ना, एंड इफ समबडी हैज दिस पावर इन हिज हैंड और मे बी हिज वन फिंगर, टिप ऑफ द फिंगर कह लो, या टिप ऑफ द मेटल पीस, और कुछ भी कह लो, यानी ह्यूमनॉइड अगर उसको रख लो, तो वो क्या कहते हैं उसको, फिर क्या होगा? We will start believing in him. We will start believing in him.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. ये चीज़ है। And I think कि ये घंटा हो गया तो इसको यहाँ क्लोज करें, ठीक है ना। संडे नाइट को इंशाल्लाह, अभी तक तो प्लान नहीं है as such, but शौकत भाई is coming on Sunday. So he is good at conspiracy theories. So that will be interesting. If you want, you can join in. We are going to do a podcast on conspiracy because he knows a lot of conspiracy theories. He is basically वो खुद बताते खुद एक conspiracy theory. ये चीज़ है ना.
God bless him.
God bless him. He's a lovely person.
Inshallah, it'll be great to see him again. It's been ages.
It's been ages. It's been I saw him, कब देखा था मैंने? 9 महीने हो गए। इतना जिंदगी में गैप नहीं आया कि मैंने शौकत भाई को ना देखा। 9 months हो गए।
बिल्कुल।
हाँ।
तो ठीक है, रैप अप करते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच असद भाई, शाह साहब।
थैंक यू।
और बाकी ये है कि संडे को स्टूडियो इनवाइट, जैसा कि शाह साहब ने बता दिया, और उसके बाद होपफुली पॉडकास्ट होगा जिसमें शौकत भाई होंगे और कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरीज़ पे हम बात करेंगे। तो तब तक के लिए इजाज़त चाहते हैं शाह साहब, असद भाई और मेरी तरफ से सबको अल्लाह हाफिज़, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।
अल्लाह हाफिज़, गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल, जो बैठे हुए हैं, जो देखेंगे, खुदा हाफिज़।
Stay tuned for the next podcast.